Popular Greek yogurt is being pulled from store shelves after customers complain of a nasty taste.
Yogurt is one of those foods almost everyone thinks is healthy. It's marketed as a go-to option for breakfast, weight loss, gut health, and even muscle building. You see it everywhere, in grocery stores, fitness diets, and even recommended by health experts. But here's the truth most people don't realize. Not all yogurt is actually good for you. In fact, some of the most popular yogurt brands are loaded with hidden sugars, artificial flavors, thickening agents, and ingredients that completely cancel out the benefits people think they're getting. What looks like a simple, healthy snack can easily turn into something closer to dessert, with sugar levels rivaling candy and processed ingredients that don't belong in a health food. And because yogurt has such a strong, healthy image, people rarely question it. They just grab what's convenient, assuming all yogurts are more or less the same, but they're not. Some are far worse than others. Today, we're breaking down 10 yogurt brands you should avoid at all costs, including some of the most popular names that people trust every single day. And once you see what's really inside them, you might never look at yogurt the same way again. Before we get into it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss these eye-opening breakdowns. 1. Yoplait Original Yogurt. Yoplait Original is one of the most recognizable yogurt brands in the United States, and because of its long-standing reputation, many people assume it's a healthy choice. It's marketed as creamy, delicious, and convenient, something you can grab quickly for breakfast or a snack. But when you actually take a closer look at what's inside, the reality is very different from the healthy image it presents. One of the biggest concerns with Yoplait Original is its high sugar content. Many of its flavored varieties contain a significant amount of added sugar, sometimes reaching levels that are closer to dessert than a health food. While yogurt naturally contains some sugar from lactose, the added sugars in these products push the total much higher than what most people expect. Over time, regularly consuming high sugar yogurts can contribute to energy crashes, increased cravings, and long-term health concerns. Another issue is the use of artificial flavors and additives. Instead of relying on real fruit to provide flavor, many versions of Yoplait Original use flavoring agents and color additives to create a consistent taste and appearance. This allows the product to remain shelf-stable and visually appealing, but it also moves it further away from being a simple, natural food. There is also the presence of thickening agents and stabilizers. Ingredients like modified food, starch, and gelatin are often used to create that smooth, creamy texture people expect. While these ingredients are commonly used in processed foods, they are not something most people associate with a traditional yogurt made from milk and cultures. Another important factor is protein content. Compared to options like Greek yogurt, Yoplait Original is relatively low in protein. This means it may not keep you full for very long, despite being marketed as a satisfying snack. As a result, people may find themselves eating more throughout the day, thinking they've had something healthy when it didn't provide much nutritional value. Yoplait Original may be convenient and widely available, but it represents the shift of yogurt from a simple, nutritious food into a processed product with added sugars and ingredients. It looks healthy on the surface, but when you break it down, it's not the kind of yogurt most people think they're eating. 2. Dannon fruit on the bottom yogurt. Dannon's fruit on the bottom yogurt is another popular choice that many people trust, largely because of its familiar branding and the idea of real fruit sitting underneath a layer of yogurt. At first glance, it gives the impression of a wholesome, natural snack, something that combines dairy and fruit in a simple way. But once you look beyond the packaging, there are several reasons why it may not be as healthy as it appears. One of the main concerns is the added sugar content, especially in the fruit layer. While it's marketed as real fruit, that fruit is often mixed with sugar and syrups to enhance flavor and preserve consistency. This turns what seems like a healthy combination into something that can contain more sugar than people expect, especially when consumed regularly. Another issue is how the fruit itself is processed. Instead of fresh, whole fruit, the bottom layer often contains fruit preparations that include stabilizers, flavor enhancers, and sometimes color additives. This changes the nutritional value and moves it away from the idea of eating natural fruit with yogurt. There's also the use of thickeners and stabilizers in the yogurt portion. Ingredients like pectin and modified starch are used to maintain texture and prevent separation. While these help create a smooth and consistent product, they are not part of traditional yogurt making and indicate a more processed approach. Protein content is another factor. Like many conventional yogurts, Dannon's fruit on the bottom varieties tend to be lower in protein compared to Greek yogurt options. This means they may not provide the same level of satiety, leading people to feel hungry again sooner. 3. Activia, probiotic yogurt. Activia is one of the most heavily marketed yogurt brands when it comes to digestive health. It's positioned as a product that supports your gut, improves digestion, and helps you feel better overall. The branding is strong, the message is clear, and many people buy it specifically because they believe it's doing something beneficial for their body. But when you look beyond the marketing, there are a few important things that don't always get talked about. One of the biggest concerns with Activia is its added sugar content. Many of its flavored varieties contain a noticeable amount of sugar, which can work against the very digestive benefits it promotes. While probiotics are beneficial, consuming them alongside high levels of sugar can reduce their overall effectiveness, especially when the product becomes more of a sweet treat than a health-focused food. Another issue is the way probiotics are marketed. Activia emphasizes its specific strain of bacteria, suggesting it provides unique digestive benefits. While probiotics can support gut health, they are also found in many other natural foods without the added sugars and processing. This creates a situation where people may rely on Activia as a solution without realizing there are simpler and cleaner ways to support digestion. There's also the presence of flavoring agents and stabilizers. Like many commercial yogurts, Activia uses added ingredients to maintain texture and consistency. These can include modified starches and other additives that are not part of traditional yogurt. While they help with shelf life and uniformity, they also make the product more processed than it appears. 4. Noosa yogurt. Noosa yogurt is often seen as a more premium option, known for its rich, creamy texture and bold flavors. It stands out on the shelf with its distinctive packaging and indulgent taste. And many people assume that because it feels higher end, it must also be healthier. But in reality, Noosa sits much closer to a dessert than a traditional yogurt. The biggest issue with Noosa is its extremely high sugar content. Many of its flavors contain significantly more sugar than standard yogurts, sometimes reaching levels that rival ice cream. This is largely due to the way it's formulated, with added sweeteners and flavor enhancements designed to create a rich, indulgent taste. While this makes it enjoyable, it also removes it from the category of a balanced, everyday food. Another concern is the overall calorie density. Because Noosa is made with whole milk and added sugars, it tends to be higher in calories than many other yogurt options. This can make it less suitable for people who are trying to maintain a balanced diet, especially if it's consumed regularly rather than occasionally. There is also the issue of how it's perceived. Noosa is often marketed as a premium yogurt, which can give the impression that it's made with better ingredients. While it may use high-quality dairy, the added sugars and flavorings still play a major role in the final product. The richness that people enjoy comes largely from these additions rather than just the natural quality of the yogurt. 5. Oikos 000. Yogurt Oikos 000 is often marketed as a clean and fitness-friendly yogurt, especially because it highlights 3 things it claims to avoid: 0 added sugar, 0 artificial sweeteners, and 0 fat. On the surface, that sounds like the perfect combination for anyone trying to eat healthier. But when you look closer, the reality becomes a bit more complicated. One of the biggest concerns with Oikos 000 is what replaces the sugar. Instead of traditional sweeteners, it uses sugar alternatives like stevia and other natural sweeteners. While these may sound healthier, they can still affect taste perception and, in some cases, digestion. For some people, these substitutes can cause bloating or an unusual aftertaste, making the product less natural than it appears. Another issue is the highly processed nature of the product. In order to achieve its 0 claims while still maintaining flavor and texture, Oikos 000 relies on a combination of added fibers, flavoring agents, and stabilizers. This creates a product that is engineered to meet nutritional trends rather than being a simple traditional yogurt. There's also the question of balance. By removing fat and added sugar, the product positions itself as a healthier option, but it also changes the overall nutritional profile. Fat in yogurt can actually play a role in satiety and nutrient absorption, and removing it entirely can make the yogurt less satisfying, leading people to consume more or pair it with other foods. Another factor is how it's marketed. Oikos 000 is heavily associated with fitness and active lifestyles, which creates a strong perception of health. This can lead people to consume it regularly without questioning the ingredient list or how processed the product actually is. Oikos 000 isn't necessarily a bad option, but it represents a shift shift toward highly engineered foods designed to meet specific labels rather than focusing on simplicity. It looks clean on the surface, but it's far from the traditional yogurt many people think they're eating. 6. Chobani Flip yogurt. Chobani Flip takes yogurt and turns it into something much closer to a snack or dessert. It combines yogurt with mix-ins like chocolate chips, cookie pieces, caramel, and other sweet toppings, creating a product that feels indulgent and fun. While it's popular and convenient, it also raises several concerns when it comes to overall health. The biggest issue with Chobani Flip is its high sugar content, especially when you combine the yogurt with the added toppings. While the base yogurt may contain some protein and nutrients, the mix-ins significantly increase the sugar levels, turning the product into something that resembles a dessert more than a balanced snack. Another concern is the presence of processed ingredients in the toppings. Many of the add-ins include refined sugars, artificial flavors, and stabilizers that are commonly found in snack foods. This shifts the product away from being a simple dairy item and more toward a packaged treat. There is also the matter of portion control. The divided packaging encourages you to mix everything together, which can make it easy to consume all the added sugars in one sitting. Because it's still labeled as yogurt, people may not realize how quickly the sugar content adds up. Another factor is perception. Chobani as a brand is generally associated with healthier yogurt options, which can make people assume that all of its products fall into that category. However, the Flip line is designed more for taste and convenience than for nutritional balance. Chobani Flip is enjoyable and convenient, but it blurs the line between yogurt and dessert. While it may still contain some beneficial nutrients, the added sugars and processed mix-ins make it a less ideal choice for regular consumption. 7. Great Value Yogurt, Walmart brand. Great Value yogurt is one of the most affordable options on the shelf, and for many people, that's exactly why they choose it. It looks simple, comes in multiple flavors, and feels like a budget-friendly version of more well-known brands. But when you look beyond the price, there are a few important trade-offs that come with that lower cost. One of the main concerns is ingredient quality. To keep prices low, products like Great Value yogurt often rely on more processed ingredients, including added sugars, artificial flavors, and stabilizers. While this helps maintain consistency and shelf life, it also moves the product away from the simplicity of traditional yogurt. Another issue is the sugar content, especially in flavored varieties. Like many lower-cost yogurts, Great Value versions often include added sugars to improve taste. This can make the yogurt more appealing, but it also increases the overall sugar intake, which can add up quickly if consumed regularly. There is also the use of thickening agents and fillers. Ingredients like modified food, starch, and gelatin are commonly used to create a smooth texture, but they are not part of a traditional yogurt recipe. These additions are designed to improve consistency rather than nutritional value. Another factor is protein content. Compared to higher quality or Greek yogurt options, Great Value yogurt tends to be lower in protein. This means it may not keep you full for long, leading to more frequent snacking throughout the day. Great Value yogurt serves its purpose as an affordable option, but it reflects the compromises that often come with budget-friendly products: more processing, more added ingredients, and less nutritional balance. 8. Oui by Yoplait French-style yogurt. Oui by Yoplait is marketed as a more premium French-style yogurt, often packaged in glass jars and presented as a higher quality alternative to standard yogurt products. It feels more natural, more authentic, and more refined. But despite that image, there are still a few important concerns that don't always get noticed. One of the biggest issues is the sugar content. Many of Oui's flavored varieties contain a significant amount of added sugar, similar to other dessert-like yogurts. While the texture is thicker and creamier, the sweetness level can be quite high, making it less suitable as an everyday healthy option. Another factor is portion perception. Because the product is packaged in small, attractive glass jars, it gives the impression of a controlled and balanced serving. However, the sugar and calorie density within that portion can still be relatively high, especially when consumed regularly. There's also the use of added flavors and fruit preparations. While the brand emphasizes a more natural approach, many of its flavors still rely on sweetened fruit mixtures rather than simple, fresh ingredients. This adds to the overall sugar load and reduces the simplicity people expect from a premium yogurt. Another point to consider is how it's positioned in the market. The packaging and branding create a strong sense of quality, which can lead people to assume it's automatically healthier than standard yogurt. But in reality, the difference is more about presentation and texture than a significant improvement in nutritional value. Oui by Yoplait delivers a unique and enjoyable experience, but it leans more toward indulgence than everyday nutrition. It may look premium, but its sugar content and formulation place it closer to a treat than a truly balanced yogurt option. 9. Silk dairy-free yogurt alternative. Silk dairy-free yogurt is a popular choice for people who are lactose intolerant or following a plant-based diet. It's marketed as a healthier, dairy-free alternative, often made from soy, almond, or coconut bases. While it serves an important purpose for those avoiding dairy, it also comes with a different set of concerns that many people overlook. One of the main issues is added sugar. Many dairy-free yogurts rely on added sweeteners to improve taste, especially because plant-based bases don't naturally have the same flavor as dairy yogurt. This can result in sugar levels that are just as high or even higher than traditional flavored yogurts. Another concern is the level of processing. Plant-based yogurts often require additional ingredients to achieve the texture and consistency of regular yogurt. This can include thickeners, stabilizers, and emulsifiers, making the product more processed than it initially appears. There is also the issue of protein content. Compared to traditional yogurt, many dairy-free options are lower in protein unless they are specifically fortified. This means they may not provide the same level of satiety or nutritional value, especially for people relying on them as a regular part of their diet. Another factor is perception. Because it's labeled as dairy-free and often associated with healthier lifestyles, people may assume it's automatically a better option. But without paying attention to the ingredient list, it can still contain many of the same issues found in regular processed yogurts. Silk dairy-free yogurt offers an alternative for those avoiding dairy, but it's not automatically a healthier choice. Like many processed products, it depends heavily on how it's formulated. 10. Go-Gurt Yoplait. Go-Gurt is one of the most recognizable yogurt products, especially among children. It's designed to be fun, portable, and easy to eat on the go, which makes it a popular choice for parents looking for quick snack options. But when it comes to nutrition, Go-Gurt is far from what most people would consider a healthy yogurt. One of the biggest concerns is its high sugar content. Go-Gurt is heavily sweetened to appeal to kids, and this often results in sugar levels that are closer to candy than a traditional yogurt. Regular consumption of high sugar snacks can contribute to unhealthy eating habits and increased cravings. Another issue is the use of artificial flavors and colors. To create bright, appealing flavors, Go-Gurt often includes additives that are not found in simple yogurt. These ingredients are used to enhance taste and appearance, but reduce the overall quality of the product. There is also the matter of low nutritional value. Compared to more traditional yogurt options, Go-Gurt tends to be lower in protein and higher in processed ingredients. This means it doesn't provide the same benefits that people typically expect from yogurt. Another factor is how it's marketed. Go-Gurt is positioned as a convenient and kid-friendly snack, which can make parents assume it's a healthy option. However, the focus is more on taste and convenience than on nutritional balance. Go-Gurt may be fun and easy to eat, but it represents the extreme end of processed yogurt products. It's closer to a sweet snack than a genuinely healthy food. Now here's the key shift. Yogurt itself isn't the problem. The problem is how it's been turned into a dessert disguised as a health food. Once you move away from the high sugar, heavily processed options, there are actually some yogurt choices that can support your health instead of working against it. So instead of avoiding yogurt completely, let's look at a couple of better options that are simpler, higher in protein, and much closer to what yogurt is supposed to be. Healthy alternative. Number 1, plain Greek yogurt. Plain Greek yogurt is one of the best options you can choose if you're looking for something that is both simple and nutritionally balanced. Unlike many flavored yogurts that rely on added sugars and artificial ingredients, plain Greek yogurt is made using a traditional process where excess whey is strained out, resulting in a thicker texture and higher protein content. This alone makes a significant difference in how your body responds to it. One of the biggest advantages of Greek yogurt is its high protein content. Compared to regular yogurt, it contains nearly double the protein, which helps keep you full for longer periods. This can reduce unnecessary snacking and support better overall eating habits. Instead of causing quick energy spikes and crashes like sugary yogurts, it provides more stable energy throughout the day. Another important benefit is its low sugar content, especially when it's unsweetened. While it still contains natural lactose, it avoids the added sugars that turn many yogurts into dessert-like products. This makes it a much better option for maintaining balanced blood sugar levels. If you prefer a bit of sweetness, you can always add fresh fruit or a small amount of honey, giving you full control over what goes into your food. Greek yogurt also supports gut health through natural probiotics. Because it's less processed and closer to traditional yogurt, it contains beneficial bacteria that can help maintain a healthy digestive system. Unlike heavily marketed probiotic yogurts, it delivers these benefits without unnecessary additives. additives. Another factor is ingredient simplicity. A good Greek yogurt usually contains just a few ingredients, milk and live cultures. That simplicity is what makes it reliable. It doesn't rely on stabilizers, artificial flavors, or engineered textures to create its consistency. Greek yogurt may not have the flashy flavors of processed options, but that's exactly what makes it better. It's a return to what yogurt is supposed to be: simple, filling, and genuinely beneficial. Healthy alternative number 2, Skyr yogurt, Icelandic style yogurt. Skyr yogurt is another excellent alternative that often goes overlooked, but in many ways, it's one of the most balanced and nutrient-dense yogurt options available. Originating from Iceland, Skyr is similar to Greek yogurt in texture, but it is typically even thicker and higher in protein, making it an extremely satisfying option. One of the standout features of Skyr is its very high protein content. Like Greek yogurt, it undergoes a straining process, but it often ends up with even more protein per serving. This makes it particularly beneficial for people looking to support muscle health, maintain energy levels, or simply stay full longer after eating. Another key advantage is its low sugar profile. Plain Skyr contains minimal natural sugar and avoids the heavy sweetening found in many commercial yogurts. This makes it a strong option for those trying to reduce sugar intake without giving up yogurt entirely. Skyr also contains live active cultures, which support gut health in a natural way. Because it is less processed and doesn't rely on artificial additives, it delivers these benefits without the complications found in many flavored or functional yogurts. Another benefit is its clean ingredient profile. High-quality Skyr is typically made with just milk and cultures, sometimes with the addition of natural flavoring if it's a flavored version. This simplicity is what sets it apart from many modern yogurt products that rely on multiple additives to achieve their texture and taste. It's also worth noting that Skyr tends to be lower in fat, while still maintaining a creamy texture, making it a good option for those looking for a lighter choice without sacrificing satiety. Skyr yogurt represents a more traditional and balanced approach to yogurt. It focuses on quality, simplicity, and nutrition, rather than relying on sugar and additives. For anyone looking to replace processed yogurts with something more beneficial, Skyr is one of the best options available. So here's the reality. Yogurt isn't automatically healthy just because it's yogurt. The version most people are eating today is completely different from what it was meant to be. Once you start adding sugar, artificial flavors, and processed ingredients, it stops being a simple, nutritious food and turns into something much closer to a dessert. The biggest mistake people make is trusting the label. Just because something says probiotic, low fat, or natural doesn't mean it actually supports your health. As you've seen, some of the most popular yogurt brands are loaded with ingredients that cancel out the benefits people think they're getting. But the good news is, you don't have to give up yogurt completely. You just need to choose better options. When you switch to something simple, like Greek yogurt or Skyr, you're getting real nutrition, and over time, those small changes can make a big difference in how you feel. If this video made you rethink the yogurt you're buying, hit the like button so more people can see this. Share it with someone who eats yogurt every day thinking it's healthy. And if you want more videos like this, exposing everyday foods and breaking down what's really inside them, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because the next healthy food you trust might not be as healthy as you think.